factory. Got my footwear from Pauline, he was selling footwear. My husband on the street. And I always was growing, I always kept doing it, whether I showed or was in anything. I work workshops sometimes in California. But I didn't have the exhibitions. I was in competitions and in shows and things like that. But never like I looked at people like that here.
Hi, Michelle. Did you prime your pastel paper, or is it just Janssen paper? Or what's your paper that big?
The things out there that
Like pastels.
they're pastel.
Are they on the ground?
They're on really good heavy mat wood.
On that?
Metal. And some of it has a texture and some doesn't. So it depends on what you want. Some is colored. For a long time I always did it on white. And then I started working on grays, and now I work on black a lot. You notice how dark some of the new things are? Because I like the idea that white is intimidating to me, and so I always tone it down. So I always put something over it before I begin the work, since I needed to see what the lights are like and what the darks are like in relationship to their values.
What did you text them with?
Bigger?
What did you text them with?
What did you text her with?
Oh,
What did you
no. That's me.
The texture now.
No, the board is fairly smooth. And I can get a textured board if I want, but I don't. I usually use a fairly smooth one. And I just build the hard pastels to begin with and smooth it all down and then start working with soft areas and some of those Rembrandts and some of the ones that are richer and more buttery. And then you give it a little bit shot of what fits it at the end to hold that and drop it off the floor. And then so the other day, somebody I read where I should try using rubbing alcohol. Okay? So one of the things that I was working on, I did in Jasmine, and then I had to wash with rubbing alcohol. I changed that whole thing into a wash, kind of an opalescent surface. It's just really quite wonderful. And now then I put the nutrient over on top of that. So I'm hooked over that. I got to experiment with that some more. Find out what happens.
Which piece do you feel like you learned the most from? Which piece?
Did I learn the most from? I really can't. I think the ones that are sort of there, I didn't learn from. The ones that are more loose and experimental, like the last big ones, that great big one that you look down the path, is on that far wall, that one, and the forest one. And the ones that seem to be a little bit more, but see, I have trouble on the shoulder now, so I can't work high on days, so I rest or something, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to keep doing them, because it's too hard for me to keep my arm out there. But they, see, I can't get tight. Isn't that okay? That's fun. And so I can't do those others. So now I do something else that's more fun and more colorful and more exciting for me. And so, I mean, it's your autobiography. That's life. Anyway, pastels it's kind of a cop-out for me in some ways because I don't have to work brushes and clean palettes and do all that. I should go back to others sometimes, but right now, for me, this is the way to work. It's easier, cleaner. I can control it a little bit better.
The painter, Agnes Martin, refers to working in the studio as wrestling with the dragon, and she's faced with constant defeat every day in the studio, and there are small moments that keep her going. What is it that keeps you practicing? And
I think it's this absolutely overwhelming appreciation for nature and for the Northwest and for the love of repeating color and shape and line. I can't imagine not seeing it. You know? I often say, then you ever have to keep going about getting that's on that paper. Yes.
When you begin working on a piece, how do you prepare yourself to encounter that work? And how do you enter into that work?
Well, the encounter doesn't come with the word, first of all. The encounter comes with something that sets me off. Some scene, some color, some place, some feeling. And then I started to have drawings, and I made drawings and plans that had to do more with the value relationships and composition. But I never get away from that. I don't work and have photographs of the places I work, but I have the paintings don't look like photographs. Photographs flatten things out, I guess. And I like that depth, I like that feeling that you're moving back into space. I like trying to record something mysterious, something that's rather ethereal, maybe. God's gift to us is everywhere. And I think that's what compels me. It's always a miracle, isn't it? Everything that you do. May not be beautiful, it's a miracle.
One of my memories of you, Pauline, was sitting rather far back at church and drawing during the sermon. And you did a beautiful, wonderful series of work in the 60s from those drawings. Mostly oils at that time.
Yeah, and that was when Bill Tatum was here, and whenever he preached paintings for me, and I said, he said, like a Christ cruciform shape. Wow, you know, how would I do that? It's been marvelous. And so then a huge painting in my background. So a lot of times, and I just kept on through the service because I got ideas of things that I had to say and what he said. That was really, really fun. In fact, there's a painting over in the chapel of the Head of Christ, and I always wanted to do the Head of Christ. And I never thought some of them looked so, so sweet and so weak. And I wanted something to be stronger. And so one day I had yellow, ochre, and alizarin crimson, and black and white on my palette. And so I just started taking on it. I just made marks all over that thing. And lo and behold, pretty soon, there was I saw the head with the crown of thorns, and the total thing was really extra. So when I got them to hang out in the hall, I was kind of excited about the whole thing. I hung it out in the hall, the students would go by and abstract things so I don't understand. And they get about halfway down the hall, and they say, wait a minute, and then it would come into focus. Well, once you saw it, then you could never look at it in that direction. And for me, that was a lesson, because once we see Christ in our life, and we reflect Christ in our life, then we never see our life the same. And we never can get lives without it. And so that painting is really a significant thing in terms of a witness for me in terms of the Christian faith, because I felt like, once you see it, you can't get away from it. So those are those miracles that happened there. Always more fun.
Pauline, I was not an art major, and you made me feel welcome in the class that I had. That wasn't true. Both in the art department and the music department, there were folks who wanted to have conservatory-style relationships with their students. And I never felt out of place, I never felt unwelcome, and I'm still grateful.
Well, there's always a little bit of art in all of us. And one way or another, we're just finding it and following our dream and being willing to take some risks and saying, amen.
Who's your favorite artist and why?
I don't really have one. I do a lot. I have a lot of reading I do, and people who I have admired, and I think, it's crazy, but Van Gogh is not necessarily all of his work, it's his life. And if you've ever read anything about the letters that he's written, because he was a pastor, and there is a powerful witness of the struggle of the life, and who he thought was right. And so I'm impressed with that. But in terms of, not as impressed with anybody's work necessarily as I am your commitment and your willingness to risk everything to do something that is at home. Okay? Thank you. Wonderful.